Welcome to Tradewind's Health and Safety Contractors Handbook. This handbook explains how we keep you safe and healthy while you work for Tradewind. Remember, no task is so urgent that we cannot take the time to work safely. Tradewind has delivered construction projects since 1972, with safety at the center of everything we do. This handbook is part of your site induction. As the subcontractor's representative, you must ensure all personnel read, understand and comply with it, or risk breach of contract and liability. Before starting work you must be competent, approved, and fully inducted via Comply, with job-specific risk assessments and SWMS on site. On site, your Tradewind contacts supervisors and monitors work. Our integrated policy commits to a healthy, safe workplace and strong environmental and quality standards. Agree the scope of works before starting. Define the task, personnel and competencies, risk assessments, site checklist and supervision. Do not take on extra tasks or job creep without written approval from Tradewind, as unplanned work increases the risk of incidents. Follow all site rules for arrival, parking and traffic management. Wear high-vis clothing, stay on pedestrian walkways and separate people from vehicles. In public areas, maintain clear zones around moving plant. Keep workspaces tidy, well lit and free of tripping hazards to prevent slips and trips. First aid must be organized before work begins, with at least one person fully trained in first aid and CPR. Report every accident, injury, incident or near miss immediately and record it in Comply. For notifiable incidents, notify Safe Work NSW. Preserve the scene and retain records for 5 years. Risk assessments use the hierarchy of controls, aiming to eliminate hazards first, then substitute and control them before relying on PPE. Prepare a risk assessment and SWMS for each activity and update them if conditions change. All SWMS must be reviewed and approved by Tradewind before work starts. Each project has a site-specific emergency response plan. Learn the contacts, evacuation routes and assembly points during induction. In an emergency, raise the alarm, stop work if safe, evacuate, report to your supervisor or warden, and do not re-enter until the all-clear is given. A permit to work is required for high-risk tasks such as confined space entry, electrical work, hot works, plant isolation and working at height. Only authorized, competent Tradewind staff can issue permits, and all requests must be submitted and recorded through Comply before work begins. PPE is your last line of defense and must complement, not replace, risk controls. Minimum Tradewind standards include an approved hard hat, safety footwear, long trousers, high-vis clothing, gloves, eye, hearing and respiratory protection, plus sun protection. Inspect PPE before use and replace it when damaged. Plant and equipment must be suitable, maintained and only used by trained, licensed operators. Guarding is required on moving parts and Tradewind plant must not be used without written authorization. Lifting and pressure equipment must meet relevant Australian standards and have current inspection records. Working at height is high risk. EWP operators require the correct license and full body harnesses. Never work alone and always use spotters near overhead power lines. Use only industrial-grade ladders and mobile scaffolds, follow the 4-to-1 ladder rule, and maintain 3 points of contact at all times. Hazardous chemicals require a risk assessment and current safety data sheet. Follow SDS controls, where specified PPE and never mix or decant chemicals into unmarked containers. Store liquids in secure, bund areas and prevent spills from entering stormwater. Know the GHS hazard symbols and their meanings. Assume asbestos is present in older buildings unless confirmed otherwise. Obtain and follow the asbestos register and management plan. Do not disturb suspected ACM without authorization. Only licensed Class A or B removalists may remove asbestos, and all subcontractors must complete asbestos awareness training. Respirable crystalline silica is generated when cutting or grinding materials like concrete or stone. Inhalation can cause serious, irreversible lung disease. Identify silica tasks in the SWMS, complete a silica dust risk assessment, use engineering controls and fit tested respirators, and report any uncontrolled dust. Only licensed electricians may perform electrical work. All equipment must be tested and tagged, isolated before maintenance, and, where possible, low voltage or battery powered. For excavation, review DBYD plans, complete a SWMS, and use cable locators. Treat overhead power lines as a critical, high-risk hazard. Confined spaces present serious risks and require a valid permit to work, specialist training, competency certification, SWMS, and rescue arrangements. For excavations deeper than hip height, ensure shoring or battering, safe access and egress, barriers and competent person inspections, plus DBYD checks each shift. Manage waste in line with Tradewind's environmental policy, use licensed facilities, and follow the hierarchy of prevention, reuse, recycling, energy recovery, and finally landfill. Do not mix or illegally dispose of waste. Understand safety sign categories: hazard, prohibition, mandatory, and safe condition signs. Tradewind applies zero tolerance to violence, bullying, harassment, discrimination, and drugs or alcohol on site. Everyone has legal WHS duties and must cooperate and coordinate. Wellbeing support is available 24/7. Completion of the induction quiz and declaration in Compli records your commitment to these standards.